Erik Ten Hag has gone ahead to place Rasmus Højlund to his shortlist of centre forwards that he's targeting into this summer transfer window. Welcome to United Matters channel. We are discussing Marcus Rashford, a threat that has been identified by the Sevilla manager, and then lastly Martinez signed shirt, press it to the Pope in Vatican. Guys, that's a very huge achievement for a player known as Martinez, because a jersey signed by Lisandro Martinez presented to Pope Francis down in Vatican. So Rokan David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're really watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Second story of the day. After this, we are returning with what we call the match day live. You know that very well, as United is hosted by Sevilla down in Spain. Now, Hojland is a player that almost every club is really looking at. 20 years of age. In his first two games for Denmark, he scored 4 goals. He scored 5 goals. Then for Atalanta, he's also putting there a situation that everyone is really looking at and obviously trying to observe. It shows you that eye of Erik Ten Hag that he has for sporting young talent and upcoming talent, because we usually never scouted players like Hojland, you know. Hojland, we never. But this time around, Hojland is one of those players that Ten Hag's going to hit to scout. Now, a source coming in from Denmark has told us that Manchester United and Real Madrid have concretely expressed their interest in Rasmus Hojland. He's part of the list of 3 to 5 names considered by the clubs. Bayern Munich are also expected to be in the race. Hojland recently left his agent and will likely appoint a new one in the coming weeks. Then a potential move can be discussed. Now, this story just had a little bit of slip off in the last 2-3 weeks, ever since the international break really came to an end. Remember, the international break came to an end around 29th, because on the 1st we are playing the league again. So after that, not so much put out by Hojland. I think it's because of him not going ahead to really fire in lots of goals at Atalanta, but he's a very talented striker that Erik Ten Hag is going to have to place onto his list or short list of strikers that he wants to come in at Manchester United. Let's go through the short list of strikers that Erik Ten Hag is looking at. Victor Osimhen, one on the short list. Goncalo Ramos is another one on the short list. Benjamin Šeško is another one on the short list. Dusan Vlahovic is another on the short list. Harry Kane is another one on the short list. Then Rasmus Hojland is another on the short list. And the latest name to come in through is coming in from Feyenoord, Martinez. He's known as Santiago Jimenez, who is really a centre forward, who's really firing in goals at Feyenoord. They are even topping the Eredivisie. They have a chance to play in the Champions League. But Erik Ten Hag is keeping his tabs onto this player known as Santiago Jimenez. Now, if you are Rasmus Hojland and you support Manchester United and you'd love to play the club Manchester United, I think this is something exciting. And I think every time he feels like United is going ahead to scout on him, he just feels like this is the best moment of his life. You know, during Sir Alex Ferguson's era, a player who really came out and made it clear to the media that he wants to play for Manchester United and he's a supporter of United, Ferguson had to go on and sign him immediately. Amid this, at what cost, he would go ahead and really sign the player. Now, as it stands, Hojland is a very good player. I've seen him at Atalanta, Denmark in his 2 games that he played. In his first 2 games he played, he's really a brilliant player. To me, I believe we can beat Real Madrid and Bayern Munich on the signing of this player, but it's all about the money. If you can present the amount of money that Atalanta wants, we can get this player. One, he supports Manchester United. Secondly, the captain of his national team, that is Christian Eriksen, is playing for Manchester United. You know, Eriksen can easily act as an agent to convince this boy to come in here and really play the game of football. But I think if Ten Hag is very serious on the player, he would have already told Eriksen to talk to him, because Eriksen is a Danish legend. And Rasmus Højlund will be so much wanting to follow in the footsteps of Eriksen. Thirdly, we are having, amongst all those teams, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, a team whose future of a centre forward is not yet undecided is Manchester United, because for Real Madrid, if at all they get a chance to sign Kylian Mbappe, they'll obviously bring him in, and when you are Rasmus Hojland, you'll find yourself in a situation that what's the name of that guy they signed from Germany? Luka Jovic, very good centre forward, but because there are very many different kind of players at Real Madrid that really above him, he ended up shrinking like that. Yet he was one of those centre forwards that scored in lots of goals in the Bundesliga, and very many good clubs were all after him. But being excited to go to Real Madrid costed him his career, and I think he's loaned now in Italy to revive his career. So if you're Hojland, you have to look through the future, and that's why I think he went ahead to change his agent, because he needs an agent who knows what the game of football is all about and where his next future is going to be. If you're Hojland at Manchester United, you're going to be tussling it with Anton Martial. So I think Hojland can get enough playing time at Manchester United, because Anton Martial has not found himself in a position of capitalizing onto that number 9 position of United as centre forward. Though he's really great and talented, but Hojland is that number 1 striker that you would want to come at Manchester United, because he's cheap. One, he's not going to cost £100 million. Even if he goes beyond the limits of United, it won't exceed 50 or 60 million pounds. That will be the amount of money you're supposed to pay for Hojland. So that leaves us in a situation of asking ourselves, out of the entire strikers that have been presented to us, should we go in for Harry Kane, Victor Osimhen, Goncalo Ramos, because all of those three I'm mentioning, their price tag is £100 million plus. You get? If you are Manchester United and you're Erik Ten Hag, you would love to get in a striker as soon as possible before you go to the preseason. And I think we might find ourselves in a condition of signing either Santiago Jimenez and Hojland. That's it, or Hojland. To me, I would love any of those to come in through, because we'll get them early enough. They'll have to come to the club. Those transfers won't lag on. Then we'll go to the preseason with them in America, returning to Carrington, hence starting off the season with them. I don't want us to find ourselves in a situation like we were when we started the season, when Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire had only played together, had not played together in any competitive game. Eriksson had not played with that team for long. Casemiro came in later. Then Anthony also came in late. So we only went with Tyrell Malacia on the preseason. We need to go with like 3 players in the preseason. The Casemiro backup, a right-footed central defender, and a centre forward. If we go with those 3, and we add on the likes of the Amad Diallos coming in from the loan spells that are going to come in and compete with Anthony, I believe United will be in a better position to compete for the Premier League title next season. And I think that's what Erik Ten Hag is all about and chasing for, because with the uncertainty hovering over United on the takeover, Ten Hag has gotten to know that he might be having a budget of close to £100 million to spend. Now, if we pay £50 million for Hojland or Hojland to Atalanta, or Santiago Jimenez, because Santiago Jimenez buyout clause is £18 million, then we bring in a centre back at like £30-40 million, then we go in for a midfielder, that will be okay for United, because we'll be in America, and Ten Hag will be planning for his season knowing that at least he's having close to 3 more additives in his team, and they're going to go and really act well. So to me, I believe Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are a threat, but I think if at all we use the United approach, that Hojland is a supporter of Manchester United, Eriksson, his country captain, is playing at Manchester United, we can win this battle, provided we can raise the amount of money that Atalanta really are calling in for at the club of Manchester United. Then the manager of Sevilla, whom we are playing today, has gone ahead and really issued the following about Marcus Rashford. He has said that Rashford is one of the best players right now, but we are not going to change our mentality all our ideas, whether Rashford plays or not. If Rashford plays, he's ready. If he doesn't, he's not. Another top player will play. So he's going ahead to talk about Marcus Rashford, on how good he is and how top player he is. And I think, in my mind, I believe Ten Hag is going to start Rashford on the bench. Then, because we really capitulated a lot when Anton Martial got off the field of play and Sancho, he'll be having Rashford to come in through and lead that line for the last 70 minutes of the game. Why? He'll be playing a deep line and trying to hit them on the break. And who is the best player to hit them on the break? I think it's going to be Marcus Rashford. So if I told you bring on Rashford for Anton Martial, you'll know that it's all about United going in for that game, hitting them on the break, because you just invite pressure from Sevilla, and you know to eat that. If at all having Casemiro shielding that back four, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw in the mix, you'll understand that everything is going to go on as planned for the club of Manchester United. So I think the manager is really afraid of Manchester United, because he knows that they never went ahead to score an open. They never went ahead to score a goal, apart from United scoring 2 of those goals. But he knows that same United will go ahead and really go and play at front foot at Sevilla, because we are not going there to go to joke. We are going to go there to collect those points. Again, the Sevilla manager had the following to say, that United had to score more goals when they had the opportunities. At the end of the game, we had the ball with more attacks, and it changed. We have to try and have more time with the ball and attack more in the second leg. Now, one thing this manager is really forgetting, known as Mendiba, who has not lost a game with Sevilla, is that they only came back in the game when we make substitutions. That's it. They were nowhere near going through if at all those substitutions were not made. Now, we are having a better bench, and I think Ten Hag learned from his mistakes that you shouldn't cross the bridge before you reach it. He wanted to cross the bridge, and obviously crossing the bridge meant that he was thinking about Nottingham Forest before he had really gotten this game done. And before he got it out of his way, obviously it costed, or it backfired to him, and we really conceded 2 goals. So this manager should know that when we are really still 11 players that were the first team that Ten Hag had gone ahead to select, they are nowhere near scoring. Now, even at their stadium, I know it's going to be the same thing. They'll try to come and surprise us, but I don't find it legit to stop us from doing our job that we are meant to be doing game in, game out. So that is all about the manager known as Mendiba of Sevilla, and over the weekend they beat Valencia. That's going to be a very good hyping point on them, but I think we will do everything to stop them and go through. Now, Lisandro Martinez shirt jersey has been presented to Pope Francis in Vatican. It shows you how far Lisandro Martinez has gone ahead to touch the hearts of many and see what he has gone ahead to really achieve. I think he's a Christian and he's a Catholic, and we Catholics know what it means to see to it that the Pope is really receiving your shirt number. So he has gone ahead to touch the hearts of many. That is Lisandro Martinez. That is his shirt number down in Vatican, and would like to congratulate Lisandro Martinez for the good work done for Manchester United. But it has gone ahead to reach this extent when he has found himself in a situation of being injured until the end of the season. But it said at the start of the preseason, he'll be 100% fit, ready to come in through and get the job done and dusted. Now, your thoughts onto Hojland making it to the Erik Ten Hag forward shortlist are welcome into the comment section below. What do you think about the thoughts of the interim manager of Sevilla to come in through with the needful at Manchester United down in Spain? So your reactions are welcome in the comment section below. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. I sign out for now. See you later. Ciao, ciao. See you in, I think, 3 hours from now, right? As we do the match day live. Bye-bye.